A family was sleeping peacefully when, in the middle of the night, the mother suddenly began sleepwalking and making strange sounds. At first, it may seem like a normal case of sleepwalking, but something about her behavior felt completely different. Take a look.
Para, vó! Cadu! Que porra é essa, Cadu? Cadu, ela tomou remédio. Cadu, ela tomou remédio. Tomou, cara. Tem certeza? Não é possível, ela não tomou. É óbvio que ela não tomou. Onde ela tá, irmão? Fala com ela, por favor.
We can hear her laughing and screaming while making unusual noises that don't sound natural at all. It quickly becomes clear that this isn't an ordinary sleepwalking episode. Concerned by what was happening, one of the family members decides to move closer to check on her, but that decision may have been a mistake.
Cadu, a vó é tu. Cadu, vai cair! Ela não vai ficar assim, ela vai...
She suddenly goes completely quiet for a moment, as if unaware of anyone around her. But the instant someone approaches, she begins screaming again, almost as though she sensed their presence without even looking. This reaction makes it hard not to wonder whether she was truly asleep at all. From the footage, her movements and behavior seem far from normal, leaving viewers questioning if something else was influencing her actions that night. What do you think was really happening here? Two girls casually recording themselves when something happens that sends them running to their father for help.
Else's games, too late for second guessings, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think
While filming, the door automatically opens, without one not touching it, followed by a bottle suddenly falls on its own. After a bottle falls, a door swings wide open, shut, creates a panic among girls, and begin desperately calling for their father multiple times, their voices filled with genuine fear.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
What makes this footage particularly disturbing isn't just the bottle falling or the door opening by itself, but also the pitch-black darkness beyond that doorway, combined with the feeling that at any second, something might step through into the light where the girls are standing. Could this have been staged with strings? Or did something genuinely open that door? Regardless of the answer, the imagery of that dark open doorway remains unsettling. What do you think? Let us know. Security footage from a hospital morgue shows a nurse doing routine night shift work when something disturbing happens right behind her that she doesn't even notice. Watch closely as the deceased body on the table suddenly moves its legs as if pulling their foot, and the nurse, working just a few feet away, continues her work, completely unaware of what the camera just captured. This particular morgue had already earned a reputation among hospital staff for unexplained incidents that nobody could rationalize, and workers had been reporting strange occurrences in this room long before this footage was captured. What do you think? Is this any post-mortem reflex or something else? Let us know in the comments.
Our first case comes from a mother named Aaliyah who thought she was simply documenting her daughter's sleep problems to show a pediatrician, but what her camera captured that night revealed something far more disturbing than a common childhood phase. She tried to comfort her. It turned out that Aaliyah's daughter had been suffering from night terrors for a few weeks, but according to the child's doctor, it was a common phase that many children experience until one day she herself suffered his terror and caught this in camera. It was around 2:40 in the night. Aaliyah woke up to her daughter's cries, but this time, they were more intense than ever. It was so severe that the girl ran straight into her mother's room. Aaliyah immediately started recording to show the footage to her child's doctor. But what she captured was far from normal.
I'm scared.
Scared? Are we scared, baby? Come on, you're a big girl. Come on, big girl. You're a big girl. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Are you a big girl? You're scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, Mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora?
As Aaliyah guided her daughter back to her room, the door suddenly closed on its own. Trying to calm her daughter, Aaliyah told her it was just the vents. But what happened next couldn't be explained.
What's wrong, Cora? What are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
When Aaliyah sees her daughter staring at the window, she turns the camera towards her, but suddenly the blinds close on their own, making both the mother and the daughter run towards their room. But what she shows and explains makes it more terrifying.
You have to be physically standing by the blinds in order to close them like this. And also, all four of them closed at the exact same time. There's not electronic, it's not battery powered, it's... That's not creepy. Trying my best not to freak out. So...
The blinds couldn't be closed all at once. They had to be shut manually, one or two at a time. While she was explaining this, the door opened again, but she tried not to panic. She then went on to explain how the air conditioning system worked.
So the AC was not on when the door closed. It's very loud. And you can hear it coming from the vent. The air vent could not have pushed this door closed in that other video because the air was not on, the AC.
It turned out that the AC couldn't close the door at all. That night, all Aaliyah wanted was to comfort her daughter. What her daughter said can be true, but we cannot unsee the door slamming and blinds folding automatically. There must be something or coincidence, and let us know from where you all are watching the video. Comment down.
Another video shot in Evergreen Cemetery in Judsonia, where a tragic legend from the early 1900s tells of a mother who died searching for her lost baby. And over a century later, paranormal investigators captured drone footage that suggests her spirit might still be wandering the cemetery grounds at night. According to local belief, a young mother lost her baby somewhere near the cemetery and spent days desperately searching before she collapsed and died from exhaustion right inside the cemetery grounds, where locals buried her body on the spot. Before we even get to what the investigators captured, it's worth noting that this cemetery has a documented history of paranormal encounters from multiple independent visitors. One person who visited the cemetery described doing an EVP session when cold air kept following them no matter how many times they moved away from it. Another visitor reported that on Halloween 2007, they walked up to a statue in the cemetery and watched its eyes glow a reddish-orange color before tears of blood started dripping from the eyes. A local Arkansas resident commented that they stood under the large angel statue and witnessed its eyes turn downward to look directly at them before the eyes turned red and started bleeding, calling the experience horrifying. These aren't investigators trying to find something. These are regular people who visited the cemetery and experienced phenomena they couldn't explain. Let's back what investigators recorded. As soon as they entered, they immediately heard creepy sounds of crying and moaning. As the drone's camera moved slowly over the cemetery, capturing aerial footage of the headstones below, something appears on the screen that makes the entire team freeze. A dark, human-shaped figure can be seen moving between the graves. And they captured after. This will give you purge chills. Look at how this figure moves through the graves like it's deliberately avoiding the headstones, and then suddenly it disappears without walking off camera or hiding behind anything. It just vanishes completely. After that, they tried to find but unable to capture anything and returned. What makes this footage particularly compelling is the combination of factors the cemetery has over a century of consistent reports about a searching mother's spirit. Multiple visitors experienced paranormal. The investigators heard crying and moaning on their first visit, and then their drone captures a figure walking through the graves at night that vanishes without explanation, which matches the century-old legend almost perfectly. Do you think the legend is real and her spirit is still searching? Let us know in the comments below. The case comes from TikTok user Nick, who started documenting disturbing paranormal activity happening inside his home, where he lives with his grandmother, who suffers from dementia. And what began as concern for her waking up in the middle of the night turned into documented evidence that something genuinely supernatural is in their house. He posted a video and genuinely scared. What first alerted Nick that something was wrong wasn't just his grandmother's behavior, it was their dog's reaction. The dog would suddenly start growling aggressively, as if sensing something threatening that humans couldn't see, and dogs are known to detect paranormal presences before people notice anything unusual. And he also stated in the caption, a statue in their home suddenly fell over with nobody near it, and then something even stranger happened. a robotic vacuum cleaner appeared in the middle of the floor and started moving on its own.
It's just a Roomba. You're freaking me out. What is it?
The Roomba started moving without anybody starting it. Here's what makes this terrifying. That specific Roomba has its own documented haunted history that Nick had already shared in a previous video. In a follow-up video, Nick posted an update.
Alright, so this is in response to last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night.
He was showing that an angel statue had fallen during the night, and what's significant is that the kitchen counter was filled with many different objects sitting there, but only the angel statue fell. And it happened specifically at night, when his grandmother was standing there with a dog growling beside her.
You see how far back they are. Genuinely. I mean, the significance of an angel falling and not legitimately anything else she has.
The combination of his grandmother standing motionless in the dark, the dog growling with unusual aggression, and the angel statue falling created what Nick described as an almost demonic situation. As if whatever presence was in the house was escalating from moving objects to creating an oppressive, threatening atmosphere. A house where a haunted Roomba moves on its own, statues fall without explanation, a dog senses threatening presences, and multiple witnesses confirm spirits are active. Would you stay there, caring for a vulnerable family member while this activity escalates? Let us know in the comments. A woman posted a video from her home security camera that went viral, and what it captured is extremely difficult to explain. Her young daughter being violently pushed by something completely invisible. The family was preparing to travel when their security camera captured the little girl suddenly being pushed with enough force to knock her completely off her feet and onto the ground. When you watch the replay carefully, the way she falls makes it clear this wasn't a slip or stumble. She was forcefully shoved by something that isn't visible on camera. The force of the push is what stands out, because she doesn't just lose balance or tip over. She's propelled backward and hits the ground hard, as if someone shoved her with both hands, except there's nobody near her when it happens. What makes this even more disturbing is what the little girl says when her parents ask what happened.
Did
A ghost.
a ghost?
A ghost didn't hurt me.
A ghost came and hurt you? I don't understand.
She clearly states that a ghost pushed her and hurt her, and she's not confused or uncertain about what she experienced. She directly tells her parents that a ghost came and hurt her, and her parents are shocked because they watched it happen on camera and have no way to explain what pushed their daughter. And unfortunately, the little leg got broken. What do you it was? Comment down your thoughts.
On the 8th of November, 2010, late at night, a Malaysian couple was driving around, seemingly searching for something. They eventually parked their vehicle in front of what appeared to be an office building, but soon they would experience something that would change their lives forever. They looked around the building as if trying to find something specific, but after sitting down and having a conversation, it looked like an argument broke out. The girl decided to leave, a decision she should have taken. The boy then leaves the room, leaving the girl behind, but this was not the time for both of them to be apart, and what happens after this will haunt them forever. While talking on the phone, the boy noticed the door suddenly move. At first, he thought it was just the wind, but the moment left him uneasy. Then, without warning, all the computers in the room turned on at the same time. Gathering all his courage, the boy decided to check. He was terrified, but he checked around to make sure no one else was there. He switched off the main power, shutting everything down, but moments later, the screens began glowing again. Panicked, he ran as fast as he could. But even after he left, it looked like something was still there. But a chair suddenly moved on its own, as if an unseen presence remained in the room. Then the door slammed shut, as though something was leaving. As the boy fled in fear, the girl was still inside, alone in that same room. While looking at her phone, she had no idea what was about to happen. The chair behind her suddenly moved, making her aware of something. As she checked and turned back, suddenly the chair in front of her moved on its own, launching her backwards. She began to panic, but that was not all. As she tried to run, the tables and chairs blocked her path, moving as if it knew exactly what she was about to do. She stumbled back, trying to comprehend what was happening, but she slipped and fell unconscious. Moments later, a chair flew across the room from one corner to the other as if someone threw it in rage. The boy never came back. Do you think this was all just a coincidence or something that can't be explained? Let us know in the comments.
This video was captured by a home CCTV camera late at night, while everyone in the house was asleep. A woman can be seen sleepwalking through the house, but that isn't the strangest part. It's what happens next that makes the footage truly unsettling. She slowly walks toward the kitchen and lowers her head, as if staring at something on the floor. The house remains completely silent until the candle placed on the table suddenly begins to move on its own. At that exact moment, she lifts her head and turns to stare directly at the camera, almost as if she knows she's being watched. But what happens next is even more disturbing. Without anyone nearby, the chairs in the dining room begin moving on their own. Both of them shift across the floor as if pushed by an invisible force. And it's not just the objects that make this moment creepy. It's the way she looks. Her eyes appear completely open, wide and unblinking, almost glowing in the darkness, giving the impression that she isn't fully aware, or maybe not fully alone. A TikTok user posted a video explaining that he was walking alone through the woods in broad daylight when something unusual happened. He mentions a common rule among hikers: when the forest suddenly goes quiet, something is wrong. As he continues along the trail, a strange sound echoes from deeper within the trees. The noise doesn't resemble a typical animal call. Instead, it carries an almost distorted, human-like tone that immediately unsettles him. What makes the clip especially disturbing is that as he runs, the sound does not fade into the distance. The volume remains consistent, as though whatever is making it is keeping pace. The video ends with him still moving quickly through the trees, the sound lingering behind him without explanation. When the clip was posted, the comment section quickly became divided. Some viewers believe the sound might actually be a person in distress somewhere in the woods. They argue that if the scream was human, the hiker should have stopped and tried to help instead of running away. Others strongly disagree. They say that in situations like this, especially deep in the forest, approaching an unknown sound could be extremely dangerous. Some even suggest the noise might be an animal mimic, or something intentionally trying to lure someone closer. In the end, the video leaves viewers with a difficult question. If you were alone in the woods and heard a strange human-like scream like this, would you stop to investigate? Or would you run? This next video is one of the reasons people like me are afraid of hospitals. YouTuber Jonathan Savox was waiting for his girlfriend when he recorded something disturbing. In the footage, viewers believe they are hearing a person who may be possessed.
Pas très bien entendu.
T'inquiète pas, toi et ton mec. Ta mocheté, ta sale gueule et ton pote, ton mec. Vous allez tous crever.
Il y a mon chat, tu l'as oublié. On va tous crever avec nous.
Allez,
Bonsoir, Cindy.
je peux contacter le milieu.
C'est quoi ton but préféré?
Espèce de fils de pute.
Je connais pas.
Bon, maintenant, je me débarrasse. Et je fous le camp là-dedans.
Of course, it could also be someone suffering from a serious mental condition, which is very possible in a hospital setting, especially if this was near a psych ward. Whether it was something paranormal or a mental health episode, one thing is certain: the screams heard in the video are terrifying and hard to forget.
This footage was captured inside a high school in El Paso. It was late at night, and the school was completely empty. But what happens next is disturbing. In the footage, tables and chairs can be seen moving on their own, not slowly, not subtly, but violently. Within seconds, the furniture begins to slide across the room, and one chair is even thrown through the air, as if pushed by an unseen force. Everything happens at once, no one else is present and no clear explanation. Do you think something was there? Let us know in the comments.
A man named Aaron received disturbing news from the police about his downstairs neighbor, who had been missing for weeks. The foul odor Aaron had noticed for some time, along with a swarm of flies near the neighbor's window.
What's going on that you needed to come over to?
Well, my neighbor hasn't came outside in a while, and I looked at his window and there's a bunch of flies, and my apartment started smelling. I'm like right above him. It started smelling weird. And I walked up there and looked at his window, and there's a bunch of flies, and it kind of smells like dead or like rotten.
The smell was finally explained. There was a decomposing body inside the apartment. According to the police, his neighbor had passed away in his own apartment. Considering that Aaron lived right above him, he was deeply unsettled by this news. So much so that the thought of them dying right beneath him keeps him up at night. But on one occasion, it was more than just the thought that kept him awake. It's 3:40 in the morning when Aaron hears a creaking sound from his staircase. Suddenly heard a noise from the bathroom. Tap starts automatically. he dared to move towards the bathroom and found more unsettling. The toilet cover was moved, and it was filled with water, and there was no one in the bathroom. He was also sensing some bad smell in the bathroom. The paranormal activities weren't stopping something or the other, kept happening continuously. Every other night, he was facing new activity. One night he woke up to a cat meowing, then recorded something terrifying. Another day, lights automatically flicker. It was looking someone was trying to communicate with him. This is what he captured on camera.
Here we go again. The lights. The lights. Ooh. See? Let's do it again. I'm not gonna run.
One day, Aaron was chilling with his friends.
This has been happening too.
Nah, dude. Something like that, dude, you gotta... I feel like I've seen that before. You gotta, whenever since I was young, you gotta like call it out or something. Like, you just gotta call like
creepy,
literally, bro. Just like, is anybody here? Is anybody here?
It's like, it's been happening.
No, you just anybody here? Sorry.
What was that?
Friends along with him talked with the spirit and decided to follow.
I think it was upstairs. Sounded like a big old bang. This has been happening, bro. Ooh, it's dark as fuck up here. Oh, dude, it looks creepy. It looks fucking creepy up here, bro. Oh, shit.
Turn off down here.
Go. I don't want to go.
The light just turned off down here.
Holy fuck.
The light over there just turned off. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I think we should.
Let's just go.
We should just get out of here. The light just turned off down here.
Holy fuck. Nah, dude.
After all this, he attempts a spiritual cleansing using dragon's blood, sage, and an egg. But it quickly takes a dark turn.
You know, people don't think that you're real. People actually think that you don't exist, but I want to show them. So show yourself. Don't be scared. Show yourself. Come out.
While he was calling them at that point, he heard noise.
Okay. Something's definitely showing itself. But it's okay because I got the sage and this. It's barely lit, but it's okay. It's still lit. I'm okay. I'm scared to go around this corner. Oh, see. Here we go.
He sets the egg in the middle of the room and starts burning sage, calling out for whatever might be there to reveal itself. Uneasy and clearly frightened, he fixates on one corner. Then, when he finally breaks the egg open,
maybe it left out the window or something. Okay, let's go do the egg so I can leave my apartment. Okay, here's the egg. Nothing wrong with the egg, see? It's regular egg. First off, let me show you my hand. There's nothing on my hand, nothing. I want to get out of here. Okay, here you go. And again, I don't know why.
A foul-smelling black substance spills out. The overpowering stench suggests the ritual didn't work and that something sinister may still be present. What do you think of the video? Comment down your thoughts. Our next case comes from a man named Nick, who started experiencing strange activity in his house and decided to record what was happening. But what his camera captured with his Roomba vacuum cleaner goes far beyond any technical malfunction. He had just put the dogs away when the ice maker suddenly turned on by itself, but then he noticed something disturbing voice coming from the door. The Roomba keeps moving directly toward him. Nick is already unsettled by what he was witnessing in the house earlier, and now as he moves around the room, the device continues adjusting its direction to follow him wherever he goes. Which isn't how these automated vacuum cleaners are programmed to operate, since they're supposed to move in random patterns, not track a specific person. And the Roomba did not stopping. He keeps following. Nick also decided to hide from it, but it didn't stop. And after all these creepy instances, wait till to watch what really happened is honestly terrifying.
Jesus!
Without any warning, the Roomba suddenly flips itself completely over mid-movement, with nothing blocking its path, and no visible obstacle on the floor that could cause it to rotate that violently. And it lands upside down, leaving Nick genuinely shocked, because he can't determine if this was a mechanical failure or something far more disturbing controlling the device. A vacuum cleaner that tracks someone around a room and then violently flips itself over. Technical glitch or something using the device to make its presence known? Let us know in the comments. This teenage boy takes his old doll to a playground and observes it, trying to catch something paranormal. Not soon after, the doll falls, and he has to fix it. Something strange starts happening. The swing starts to move on its own, as if there was something sitting on it. Could it be the ghost child of the doll? Or has the doll invited a spirit into the area? When they come closer, they stop the swing and it never moves again, taking their doll with them and hopefully not taking anything paranormal with them.
Footage comes from a mother who was home alone with only her baby in the house, and she explains that she spent trying to calm her infant who wouldn't stop crying.
Shay. Cheyenne. Cheyenne.
At around 10 at night, Angela woke up to her phone's notification that a person had been detected in the back patio. She immediately checked the security camera outside her house to see that maybe her husband was back from work, but instead she saw something terrifying. She saw a little girl inside, not only that the little girl slowly dissipated into thin air. According to Angela, the mother, her baby would continuously stare at something before bursting into tears, and she didn't find it strange at first, but after this incident Angela found it concerning. Angela made another video showing where the little girl had appeared, and this is what she said.
Okay, so this is the area, the door that it was like standing inside. We don't have anything or keep anything in this area because it's a walkway and it would be really awkward. And then this is where the security camera is. So when I looked at the footage, I expected to see a person. I didn't expect to see that though.
After that, she also tried to recreate the scene to make sure what she saw was true. Angela showing what it looks like if someone were to be standing at the door makes the footage creepier. While she is not sure if this was something paranormal, she says that this was what her child was looking at. She believes that this had been responsible for making her baby upset. And if Angela's body wasn't able to be seen as she demonstrates, then how does that thing just stands there completely motionless? What do you think it was? Let us know in the comments.
This is too much. I think it's time to go. There's nobody upstairs. Get out.
This man's apartment hosts a demonic presence. Right away, you can hear banging on the walls and the sounds of the guitar in the background.
Okay, it's in my bedroom.
You can hear a voice of what appears to be a little girl saying go, and followed by let me out. In the gap of the door, you can see a dark figure moving around. However, when he goes to investigate, there's nothing there.
I got it. I'm moving. That's it. And with that, I will admit, one of the scarier ones. So we're going to stay here a couple nights. Yeah.
The constant sounds of the guitar finally startle him enough that he decides to leave. When he leaves the room, you can immediately hear a deep voice laughing. And when the man decides to move to a new room, after turning on the light, you can hear the same deep voice saying, "Let me out." This demon seems to be following this man and disguising itself as various manifestations trying to trick this man. The comments seem to think that this demon is indeed attached to the man and that moving houses won't help. This boy was innocently playing on his PC when he saw something dark in his peripheral vision. He hadn't noticed it until the last time it peeked its head out. The boy paused his game almost immediately. The young boy started calling out for his mom in clear distress. Let's watch.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
He got up to check and peeked out the door, yet saw nothing. But when he was about to close the door, something peeked out again. A shadow ghost appeared yet again. He decided to check again and turned off the light in a panic before turning them on again. He was smart to close the door. Who knows what might have got him.
Mom! 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 Come here!
Then Mother finally arrives.
Something was picking up when I was playing. No, nothing. I was playing video. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I'm just hearing you screaming. If you don't believe me, check the camera.
Mother assures him nothing was there. This was a creepy experience for the boy. He will definitely be on guard the next time he is alone playing games. Next case comes from YouTubers Lupus Gamer and her friend Regina, who decided to attempt the El Silban ritual at exactly 3 a.m. But what they captured on camera that night went way beyond what they expected. And it started before they even began the ritual.
¿Quién prendió el muñeco? ¿Quién prendió el muñeco? El muñeco está prendido. Muchachos, ese muñeco lo teníamos ahí porque está para asustar a la gente de allá afuera.
Pero no se prende solo si no le picas.
No, tengo que prenderlo yo. Tienes que prenderlo con botón. Regina, vente para acá.
For those who don't know, El Silban ritual is a Latin American legend that says if you whistle into the darkness at precisely 3 a.m., something might whistle back or appear to you. And Lupus Gamer and Regina are planning to test if the legend is real.
Tienes que silbar a las 3 de la mañana para poder llamar al silbón. Si no silbas bien, el silbón no te va a escuchar.
Bye.
Así es que silba bien, Regina.
Suddenly, they heard something horrible. They initially thought it was a car, but then later realized it was a horrible voice and mentioned they did not able to get it on the video.
Gracioso.
Mira, silba así.
Mejor no hubiera silbado.
Como si te estuvieras desinflando.
Ay, es un carro.
¿Eso qué fue? ¿Tú estás muy segura que fue un carro?
¿Qué sí? ¿Qué fue?
No sé, eso no fue un carro.
¿Tú crees que se haya escuchado en el video?
No creo.
Oye, se escuchó algo bien horrible, de verdad.
But this is not something they should be scared of, because as soon as they start again, something weird happens. Let's have a look. A doll sitting outside the window suddenly lights up completely on its own, with nobody touching it. She knows the doll can't turn on by itself, because someone has to physically press the button to activate it. Then, she decides to check.
Vente para acá. Voy a ir por el muñeco. Mira.
Pero qué miedo.
No se puede.
Este tienes que ponerle hasta acá para que se pueda prender. Pero que porque no se prende solo. ¿Cómo? ¿Por qué se prendió solo?
Pues quién sabe.
O sea, algo lo prendió. Ahí lo voy a dejar.
She took the doll inside and kept in the room. Then they switch off the lights and continue whistling. And now they can sense something. Someone is whistling, but wait to see what they recorded.
¿No viste? ¿No viste? ¡Ay, pasó, señor Gonzaco!
For the first few moments, nothing happens as they whistle into the night. But then, as the camera faces the window and curtain, a dark shadow suddenly becomes visible right outside the glass. The shape leans partially into view, as if someone is standing directly outside their window watching them. And the moment both girls notice the shadow figure, they scream after. They immediately rush to check outside.
Pero para ayer. Espérate. Regina, acompáñame. Acompáñame. Muchachos, dice Regina que se escuchó a alguien. Voy a abrir. ¡Ay! Abre la cortina. ¿Para dónde pasó, Regina? Alvarita.
Te lo juro que ahí estaba.
No, aquí no hay nadie.
Te lo juro.
Bárbara, Regina, no se puede ir de aquí, o sea, no puede pasarse por aquí.
Pero es que sí pasó.
They went to see who or what was standing at their window, but there's nobody there at all. And here's what makes this impossible to explain. They're on the second floor of the building, which means there's no balcony, no ladder, no way for a person to physically stand outside that window. So whatever cast that shadow shouldn't have been able to reach their window in the first place. Later in the society, dogs started barking, and they decided to back in the house and discover another shocking, even more disturbing.
No puede brincar, estamos en el segundo piso. Los perros lo están detectando. Sí, se han de ir por allá. Los perros están captando algo. Pero ¿dónde? No se ve, Regina. No se ve nada. Ay, no. Métete. No se ve absolutamente nada.
There are footprints inside the house that weren't there before the ritual, which suggests that whatever responded to their whistling didn't just appear outside the window. It somehow got inside.
Y peor. Miren, amigos, chequen ahí. Agarra el celular.
Como que alguien andaba descalzo, ¿verdad?
Ahí está.
No puede ser yo porque miren.
De que alguien, yo también.
¿Qué?
Here's what makes it even creepier. They're both wearing socks, but the footprints are from bare feet. The sequence of events is what makes this so disturbing. First, a doll activates. Then they whistle at 3 a.m., and a shadow appears at a second floor. And finally, they find footprints inside the house, suggesting whatever appeared outside somehow entered. Let us know. What? Do you think the El Solban legend is real? Or did they invite something else in when they whistled into the darkness? A TikTok user shared a brief but unsettling clip with a caption, "Laying in bed when I heard my own voice calling from the dining room." The video begins in near darkness as he quietly explains that no one else was home at the time. Then, from somewhere deeper inside the house, a voice can be heard calling out in a tone that closely resembles his own. The sound is clear enough to make him freeze. He does not leave the bedroom to investigate. and the clip ends without resolution. After this, he shared another video where he heard loud steps scrapping.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing. You can literally hear that. You can literally hear that. No.
He stated, only his cat was in the room, and it wasn't cat that was making noise, as we can also hear the noises going loud.
Oh my God. No.
He courageously decided to check and found nothing. The voices stop, and there is only his cat. When videos shared online, people were commenting on Mirror Witch and advised him to get rid. One commented, "Get rid of the mirror. It's used as a portal. The small one on left and the long one on right." In the comments, viewers urged him to contact a priest or paranormal investigators. A man in Mexico was heading to work one morning when he noticed something strange happening at his house, so he grabbed his phone to record what he was seeing.
Mira, ma, Lore, mira, mira, otra vez, mira, dale, mira, dale, mira, acá, mira.
¡Ay, boludo!
Mira, Nicolás, ven, ven acá, Nico.
¡Ay,
mira!
¡Ah, no me muero! No.
Mira, ¿qué es eso?
A chair sitting outside suddenly starts moving on its own with nobody near it. And this isn't just any chair. It belonged to his grandmother who died just 1 week ago. He believes her spirit is still present and that she's the one moving the chair, possibly trying to communicate or make her presence known.
Si mueves sobre la silla,
Ay, no, tengo miedo. A ver.
No, boludo, no.
A ver.
Vos estás haciendo un chiste.
No, boludo, ¿cómo que estamos acá todos?
Ay, déjame joder. Correte, Nicolás, correte. No.
Mira.
A grandmother's chair moving on its own exactly 1 week after her death. Do you think her spirit is still there? Let us know in the comments.
In Japan, a garment factory had been experiencing some seriously strange activity. In recent days, the factory had suffered multiple thefts, which is why CCTV cameras were installed throughout the building. However, instead of catching a thief, the surveillance cameras captured undeniable footage of something far more disturbing. When the factory owner saw the footage, she was shocked but not entirely surprised. In fact, she claimed she was glad. This is what happened first. One particular sewing machine suddenly begins working on its own, as if someone invisible is sitting there and using it. But then, things escalate. A mannequin inside the office starts moving on its own. And just when it feels like it can't get any worse, this happens. A cart begins rolling across the floor completely by itself. What makes this even stranger is what the factory owner said afterward. She explained that the workers believe these events were caused by Ms. Tanaka. According to her, the sewing machine that activated on its own once belonged to Ms. Tanaka. The mannequin that moved was also her favorite. She loved dressing it up and playing with it during breaks. the owner believes that all of the strange occurrences were the work of Ms. Tanaka, who had passed away. Ms. Tanaka was deeply loved and is still greatly missed by her coworkers. Rather than being afraid, the owner said she felt happy as if Ms. Tanaka had returned one final time. In September 2019, CCTV footage from Deer Park CBS left many people questioning whether the place might be haunted, because what was captured on camera was far from normal. In the first part of the footage, a door suddenly swings open, as if someone has just entered the room, but no one is there. Moments later, things escalate. A locker can be seen violently rattling and shaking, as if someone is deliberately trying to force it open. The movement is aggressive and it doesn't stop there. Suddenly, the locker door flies open, and the items inside spill out onto the floor, just like when someone forcefully opens their locker in anger. Yet once again, no one is visible. So what do you think it was? Let us know in the comments. Our next case comes from two security guards in Chimbas, Argentina, who are reviewing footage from their 360-degree security camera because something inexplicable happened the night before outside their building. The guards carefully examine footage from every angle the rotating camera captures, but initially nothing unusual stands out in any of the views until they reach a specific moment that stops them completely.
Se ve mejor.
The footage shows a woman standing alone in the street who lights something that immediately bursts into flames, and then without walking away or moving off screen, she simply vanishes as if she was never physically there, which leaves both guards completely baffled because the camera angle should have captured where she went but instead shows her disappearing into thin air.
Ajá. Se fue. Para que si veamos cuando sigamos. Para que vean de que no. Si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va. Y ahí no entramos. Ahí se ve como una calavera.
What makes this even stranger is what the guards notice in the smoke left behind by the flames, because when they examine it closely and point it out to each other, the smoke appears to form the distinct image of a skull before dissipating, which they believe adds supernatural significance to what they witnessed. The night pointed this out.
Mira, ahí se aparece como una calavera, ¿verdad? Ajá, ahí.
The skull image in the smoke could be explained as pareidolia, where our brains recognize familiar patterns and random shapes, but the woman's complete disappearance from the camera's view without any logical exit point remains unexplained and continues to puzzle residents of Chimbas who have seen this footage. A woman appears, lights something on fire, vanishes completely, and leaves behind smoke shaped like a skull. What do you think happened in that street? Let us know in the comments. The next case involves security footage from a playroom where a toddler was playing alone, and what the camera captures is a sequence of escalating paranormal activity. While the toddler plays, a hanging swing suddenly begins swinging back and forth on its own despite no breeze or movement that would explain why it started moving, and a football on chair begins rolling as if invisible hands pushed it, and the toddler doesn't seem to notice either. Then without any warning, the almirah door violently flings open with enough force to slam against the child, and at that exact moment the hanging swing begins swinging with much more aggressive intensity. This didn't look like random movement. If we watch the swing carefully, we can see it started moving more and more aggressively. Thankfully, the child had already moved away, otherwise the swing could have seriously hit the toddler. Moments like this leave a disturbing question: was there something else there that we couldn't see? Why anyone wanted to hurt any toddler? Or was it just incidents you are judged to decide? Let us know your thoughts on the comments. This footage was captured by a CCTV camera when a man was returning to his room and suddenly heard something eerie and strangely familiar. He immediately stops, trying to figure out whether what he heard was real or just his imagination. When the footage is reviewed, a voice can clearly be heard saying, "I love you, Dad." But that's not the most disturbing part. The homeowner later revealed that just a few weeks earlier, they had lost their daughter and were still grieving her death. After hearing the audio, both parents were convinced that the voice captured on the CCTV sounded exactly like their daughter.
Our next case is from a Reddit post shared by a user named ConquerLive30. A man who was working at a fire station can involve dangers beyond battling fires.
Jesus Christ. The fuck, everything's going all fucking haywire. We got alarms going off. Fucking Ryan's out on fucking patrol. Look, there's a fucking poltergeist.
In the footage, many viewers believe they are witnessing what can only be described as paranormal activity. The video, seemingly recorded on a smartphone, opens in complete chaos. Machines are droning, alarms are beeping, and the person filming sounds confused and alarmed as everything around them begins malfunctioning at once.
Look, there's a fucking poltergeist or some shit in here. Oh, fuck that! Oh, no, fuck this. Holy shit! No fucking way did that just fucking happen. Fucking, no fucking way. No fucking shit did that just fucking...
As the recording continues, a heavy wooden door suddenly slams shut on its own. This detail is especially unsettling as the door would not be connected to the station's electrical system, suggesting something far more unusual is at play. The person becomes increasingly frightened, openly speculating that a poltergeist may be present. January 11, 2012, late at night, an office building became the scene of something deeply unnatural, and every second of it was captured on a CCTV camera. Chairs around the room suddenly began moving from one end to the other. But that wasn't all. At first, a single computer screen started malfunctioning, but then all the screens in the room started malfunctioning at the same time, something that shouldn't be possible. But what the camera captured next was even more bizarre. Moments later, things took a far more disturbing turn. Doors throughout the office began trying to unlock themselves one after another, triggering alarms and flashing lights, as if something was desperately trying to get out or get in. Then, files lifted into the air and were flung violently across the room, crashing into walls and scattering everywhere at the same time. There was no one inside. No explanation. No logical cause. Doors slammed open as if someone had just stepped through, only to shut again moments later. What the camera recorded that night wasn't just strange, it was something that defied all reason. Late at night, a man was heading back to his room when something horrifying caught his attention inside his parked car. A sudden sense of fear took over, and he immediately started recording.
Qué mierda, Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir.
A person-like figure with a pale face was staring directly at him. And it couldn't have been a reflection. There was nothing around that could explain what he was seeing. Still recording, the man slowly approached the car, bracing himself for what he might find.
Nadie.
But when he finally checked the inside of the vehicle, it was completely empty, as if whatever had been watching him had vanished into thin air. In another video shared on Instagram, a construction worker arrived early in the morning at a house he had been working on. He expected a quiet day on the job. The place seemed empty, or so he thought. As he stepped inside, he heard a faint sound. He followed the noise to see what it was, not knowing he was about to discover something disturbing. Without any warning, a nearby door slowly opened on its own, as if someone had just walked through it. The worker became alarmed and immediately started recording on his phone. He then cautiously stepped into the room to check what was happening. That's when everything changed. The attic door suddenly slammed shut with tremendous force, as though someone had violently pulled it closed from the other side. The worker was startled by the loud bang, but his curiosity pushed him forward. He decided he needed to check the attic himself to find out what was going on. When he opened the attic door and looked inside, the space appeared to be completely empty. He called out to see if anyone was there, but no one responded. Then the lights in the attic started flickering and acting strangely. Fear took over and he panicked. He turned and ran away as fast as he could, accidentally dropping his phone on the ground in his rush to escape. But what happened next is something his phone captured that cannot be easily explained. As the man was running away and his phone lay on the ground still recording, something began to approach it. The camera captured some kind of movement getting closer and closer to where the phone had fallen. Then, without warning, the phone suddenly spun around with great force, as if something had come down from the attic and deliberately pushed or kicked it. What do you think caused all of this? Let us know in the comments.
Our next case shows why you should never mess with Ouija boards. Two friends decided to use one during a sleepover, and later, that same night, something woke them up that made them realize they had invited something into the house that refused to leave.
Get up. Get up. Get up.
Fuck you recording me for?
You here, listen.
Fucking sleep.
In the middle of the night, one of them wakes up to find the closet door wide open, even though he's sure it was closed before they slept. And when he tries to wake his friend Ethan to show him what's happening, Ethan is confused and annoyed about being woken up until he also sees the open closet door.
Fucking touch that door. Oh, fuck off. Should've fucking that Ouija board. I'm fucking getting up.
Despite their fear, they check the closet but find nothing, leaving one too disturbed that one decides he can't sleep in that room anymore and needs to search the rest of the house.
Hey guys, I think this might be the last time.
As he investigates the hallway, he suddenly encounters a dark shadow figure, and when you enhance the brightness of the footage, you can clearly see that this figure doesn't retreat or remain still, but instead begins charging directly toward him with aggressive intent, forcing him to slam the door shut before it reaches him. The shadow figure's behavior suggests this wasn't a residual haunting or passive presence, but something actively hostile that was provoked by their Ouija board session earlier that evening. This is why you don't invite things in without understanding what might answer. Let us know your... Our next case comes from a TikTok account literally titled Live in Haunted House, where a mother documents the escalating paranormal activity inside her home, and what started with toys turning on by themselves has progressed to something physically attacking her daughter. These paranormal activities was happening inside her home after toys began turning on by themselves. Cupboards kept opening with nobody near them, and objects would suddenly fall for no reason. But what she captured on camera went far beyond objects moving on their own. For weeks, the family experienced escalating phenomena throughout the house. Children's toys would activate and start making noise despite nobody touching them. After these incidents, they posted a terrifying incident. The daughter playing peacefully with a doll when suddenly a slapping sound is heard on the audio, and the girl immediately starts crying and runs back to her father in fear. And when father asks what happened, the daughter says the doll smacked her face and finger. And if you listen carefully to the recording, you can actually hear the distinct sound of something hitting her right before she starts crying. What makes this case disturbing is the escalation from harmless phenomena, like toys activating, to physical interaction with their child, which suggests whatever is in their home has progressed from making its presence known to directly engaging with family members. In another video the mother shared, A door in their house slowly opens completely on its own, with nobody near it and no air current that could push it, swinging wide as if someone invisible just walked through the doorway. And this happened while the family was watching it in real time. A house where objects move on their own, and now a doll has physically attacked a child on camera with a slap audible in the recording. Would you stay in that house? Let us know in the comments. A security camera inside a hotel in the United States captured something that validates what employees have been reporting for years. The hotel, built directly next to a large cemetery, is genuinely haunted, and the security guard has been documenting this ghost multiple times.
Oh, and it says they hang out and dwell around graveyards. And you know the story on that, right? When Mike hired those two native spiritual people to come here and do their stuff, he said it's not the hotel that's haunted, it's the graveyard.
The staff believes a figure comes from the cemetery next door, where bodies were dug up when the hotel was built, and they think disturbing those graves created the paranormal activity that's now trapped inside the hotel.
Oh. So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road. Do you really think when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one, moved them over to the graveyard?
They dug up the bodies and what?
Before this hotel.
The footage shows a transparent figure moving through the hotel hallway before disappearing and then reappearing in a different location. And the security guard filming explains that he and his co-worker Danny have seen this entity multiple times before. Many viewers commented on the posted and shared their experience with the foe. One woman wrote she experienced something creepy in restaurant, while another comments and assures there are spirits in the hotel. They posted another video which camera again recorded something. Let's have a look. You can see the chair shift and move on its own, while nobody is sitting on it. And when asked how he knows so much about this ghost's behavior, he explains that he and Danny caught it earlier when Danny was locking up the games room, and he freaked out when he first saw it and tried to record it, but the camera wouldn't let him capture it at first.
See him?
Yeah. I saw it.
You sure they have it there, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Noel. Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh yeah, I see it again.
Yeah, let's try and sit in the chair. Sometimes he'll stay there for a minute.
He is. How do you know this?
Well, because Danny and I caught him earlier when Danny was in the games room locking up.
When asked why the ghost is still there lingering in the hotel, the guard explains that according to paranormal research, spirits sometimes get caught in a vortex and remain stuck in locations, unable to move on, which might explain why this transparent figure keeps appearing in the same hallways and trying to sit in the same chair night after night.
I freaked the fuck out because I saw it, and then I tried to do a video review to record it, and it wouldn't let me.
Why is it still there?
Well, because if you read about it, they get caught in the vortex. And they linger around for...
A hotel built next to a cemetery where security guards regularly document a ghost trying to sit in a chair, caught in a vortex and unable to leave. Do you think disturbing graves trapped this spirit? Let us know in the comments.
Kamu lagi masak ya? Masak apa? Hah? Kok kamu di sini sih? Apaan sih orang beneran di sini? Nggak, sumpah aku lihat kamu di dapur tadi barusan banget. Ih, orang tadi aku di sini kamu mah. Astagfirullah.
At first, this seems like a normal video of a man recording his wife, but the woman is behaving strangely, standing there completely still, not moving a soul. When he was about to zoom in on her face, he hears his wife's voice. Almost instinctively, he turns around to go to her and find her on the bed, on her laptop. And when he turns around, a terrifying figure stands before him, a creature pretending to be his wife.